Alright, this is Xannitha. I'm actually doing a solo queue today right now, so this is a ranked game. I always do support, and I wanted to get some more practice in with support with my teammates, but we weren't on to do fives, so I decided to do a solo queue here. I'm casting again today with Xadius, just because he's a really good co-caster so far, and he manages to pick up some things that I don't when it comes to noticing things on the minimap.
Yep, yeah, I'm here, and just because I also wanted to see a game with Darius, because Darius is utterly broken, and he appears to be going against Shen. So this should be interesting. Very interesting, actually, considering I play solo top most.
Darius against Shen is actually a really good combination, because if Shen starts to charge up his ultimate, Stand United, where he teleports to someone on the teammate, Darius can actually use his Apprehend and pull him out of it. So the shield goes up on his teammate, but he doesn't engage in the fight.
However, sometimes though, as Shen, you just want to put up the shield, and you don't even really want to go down there. Half the time you just want the shield, because it may already be unfavorable, maybe like 3-on-1, and you just want the shield there to maybe save them, because if you were to teleport down there, then you could get killed as well, or even you could just die and maybe your teammate gets out. But as to, in terms of you may just want the shield in general, you may not want to teleport down.
Shen brings a lot of utility to the game solo top, because he's got that Stand United. He can easily turn a gank from a 2v2 or a 2v3 into a 2v4 just by teleporting in on, say, the jungler or the AD carry or the support or whoever that jungler is ganking with. Another thing that he brings is because he's so beefy and durable, he could easily start to split push whatever lane he's in. And the other team will have a much harder time engaging against whatever team Shen is on, because they know that Shen's got his ultimate. This could easily turn against us. Are we going to commit to this fight, or are we just going to give up this tower? Or are we going to commit to this fight and give up bottom tower?
Yeah, that's probably the main reason why Shen is banned, is because he forces coordination on the team he's playing against. And at least in solo duo queue, chances are there's not going to be much coordination or even like communication in general. So going up against a Shen can screw you over, because as a person, I know, like, Shen's down there, they could be going for dragon, it's be 5v4, but he could teleport in, make it 5v5. Meanwhile, he's pushing. It's like, do we stop him from pushing? And he could teleport into dragon anyway if we try and do both. So do we give up dragon? Do we let them push? They're going to get one objective, chances are. And so it's like, how do you try and make it so they don't get either objective? It requires a lot more coordination than at least the solo duo queue, or you can expect from the solo duo queues.
Now, if you noticed on bottom, actually, my Vayne partner is pretty low. This is attributed to the fact that Misfortune has a much higher auto attack range than Misfortune does. Misfortune has a higher auto attack than Vayne does, which allows Misfortune to stand farther back and still be able to hit Vayne, whereas Vayne has to get a little bit closer to hit Misfortune.
And something I don't like how this Taric is playing. I think he should just be essentially brush hugging, just being there so you can't go out, because as soon as you go close enough, he'd just go out and stun you and essentially give Misfortune a kill, rather than just being out there, because being out there, he's essentially saying, I'm over here, you can tell when I'm going to stun you, and you can move back farther enough to counter that. Also have a little exchange up top between Darius and Shen, both coming out relatively even in terms of health.
The only difference is, I think Shen came out on top there because Darius had to burn a flash and Shen didn't.
That is true. Using a summon spell, like a high cooldown one like Flash, does suck a bit.
It's something, if the solo top noticed that and set it to the jungler, that means that Darius is a lot more susceptible to being ganked because he no longer has his flash. And being Darius has absolutely no disengages, which means if he gets jumped and ganked up top, he's stuck there fighting the jungler and whoever's there with him.
Yeah, and actually your Warwick just came up for gank. However, I think Darius engaged in that a bit too early. If he had waited till Warwick was slightly closer and then saved the Apprehend, probably could have gotten a kill on Shen. And just take a quick look at the gold, relatively even, so your creep scores are pretty much on par against the other teams, so your mid's a bit higher, top's pretty much the same. And surprisingly, even though bottom lane does have that control through the range and through Taric's stun, Vayne is actually ahead of Misfortune on creep score.
My guess is going to be that Misfortune started with the Doran's Blade. Now, because of her passive, that's almost okay with Misfortune, because what her passive does is it allows her to get an extra 75 movement speed as long as she hasn't, as long as she hasn't been hit by anything outside of combat.
And now I see there was a little bit of a scary moment for Vayne on bottom. However, just before that, I was going to look at the side on their team, the health bars. I noticed Nautilus very close to dead. I'm assuming he almost died to a jungle camp.
I'm going to assume it was red or golems, actually.
And you have Warwick down there coming in for a gank. However, not quite the best initiation. You do burn a flash to try and get up there.
And I missed my...
You are way too far up there for the health you had.
Well, what happened was I didn't get that ward in the place that I wanted to because I wanted it in the brush, and it landed just outside the brush, which means that I stopped. Nope, it looks like it is, but it's not.
That's really lame.
Yeah, and what I was hoping to do there was get it in the brush so that I could use Nunu's Ice Blast and slow down Misfortune. Now, because I didn't, I decided to take a couple steps forward and just keep running, so that when Misfortune came out, the second she's out of that brush, I've got an Ice Blast on her. Now, Tarek caught me, and while I didn't take a turret hit, I had no health, and I was stuck between the tower, the support, and the AD carry.
Now, at least the good thing about that is Tarek got the kill, whereas Vayne got the kill. Now, assuming this is the last one to be uploaded of our chain of casts, we talked about how support kills, or kills with support getting kills, that gold doesn't really pay off too much. So in terms of actually getting gold to translate to other kills, you guys are up on that because your AD carry has a kill over theirs, and the support can't really translate that to effective gold. I mean, he can get his Philo Stone and such earlier and have wards, but that's about as far as it goes.
Yeah, the thing about getting an early kill on a support is it allows them to pick up their GP10 items sooner. And what that does for support, I don't know, I don't remember how often, Will, you've done support, but having that early GP10 item on a support allows them to get more wards early, and it allows them to start building into the support items, which in turn, if you take it 10 minutes down the road, helps the AD carry out. But early game, it's a lot better to still give those kills to the AD carry.
Yeah, because even while you're able to get more wards and faster, you only really ever need probably 2 wards maximum just to cover any entrances that would come in from a gank. I mean, having wards in the lane brushes helps so you can't get outmaneuvered by the other lane, but if you're playing relatively safely, you shouldn't have to worry about that too much, so you only really ever need 2 wards up at a time, and that's easily handled through the early game of just getting a normal timed GP10 and then even a second one. Kind of well, not really random ultimate for Misfortune, but
it was good, and it would have been better if she'd been a little bit more off to the left and aimed it more to the right, so that it would have caught Misfortune closer, or no, caught Vayne closer to the wall.
And we almost have just a regular lane kill on Darius by Shen. However, Darius having a splash up flashes away, and in the middle, we are actually going to have Brand get dropped by Swain. Now, without Swain's ultimate, through his healing, Brand probably could have traded 1 for 1 on that, or maybe even just gotten a kill out of that, rather than dying as well. However, Swain is a giant dick with his ultimate, absolutely not dying when he should. And yeah, Swain is a very powerful mid, just because of his ultimate. He has so much sustain.
He's a very powerful mid, and he's got a lot of sustain, but when it comes down to it, he doesn't bring nearly as much to a team fight as someone like Gragas, or Cassiopeia, or Ahri, or Orianna, or even Karthus. He just doesn't bring enough to the team fight.
That is true. And actually, we are going to get a kill on Shen from Darius. Now, unfortunately, he didn't get the kill with his ultimate, which means it's on cooldown. Warwick oh, no, Darius does end up dying. He should have backed off.
Darius did play good bait, though. He did allow Warwick to get up closer behind him so that Warwick could use his ultimate.
Yes, but as soon as he did, and I'm not sure totally how long that's, what is the last 5 seconds, his ultimate?
3 seconds.
3 seconds? Then probably about, when you're knowing it's near its end, start moving away, because he probably could have gotten away and then just let Warwick take the kill, because Warwick was going to get the kill regardless. Have some more exchange in middle. Brand
And it looks like
just
Swain
goes
is just coming out on top, and no matter what.
Yeah, because of course, engage you on Swain when there's a whole bunch of creeps around with his ultimate. Pretty much, maybe not unlimited healing, but a lot of healing. And that you might as well just walk away from that, because you're not going to really do much damage to Swain.
Although, the nice thing about it is, though, because Swain doesn't have a huge mana pool yet, he plows through his mana with his ultimate very easily, and he doesn't get to stay in there long, but he does the damage that he needs to do.
Yeah, and actually Swain picked up the Chalice of Harmony in order to counteract that, so that he can put his ultimate up for sustain and also clearing waves to push tower like he is doing now. Darius actually coming in down for a gank, however no one else is there to assist with that. And it's warded, so Swain's going to know, and actually may even turn it to a counter gank. Just watch, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I think he does.
No, Darius, don't. Well, you have the numbers with Warwick coming in, but I still don't suggest tower diving with that low health with Darius. Meanwhile, Shen's pushing top too.
This Darius doesn't exactly do the best early game, but he does make a turnaround late game.
Yeah, I'm not too sure I like his choice for pickaxe. Heart of Gold, I understand. Darius liking the beefy items.
Even the mana potion I can understand, because he does go through his mana real quick.
Boots, but boots you always want boots. But the pickaxe, I don't personally think that's the best thing to be taking.
Yeah, no, at this time, if I were playing solo top with Darius, I would have at least picked up the Vampiric Scepter to get some lifesteal.
Yeah, and we actually had a gank on Brand with Shen and Nautilus getting the kill actually under Brand's own tower. Nautilus almost dying to the tower fire.
But Darius and Warwick are able to pick up a kill against Shen up top.
Yeah, under Shen's own towers too. So it's pretty much even there. And actually, if Tarek had his stun, again, he hadn't used it originally just to stun for the sake of stunning, probably could have caught Vayne out there and gotten more damage on her. And your tower is actually pretty low. Oh, that ultimate hurts.
That was definitely a much better timed ultimate, and as you can tell, it almost killed Vayne.
Yeah, and it covered much more area because you guys were actually in the center of it, and you couldn't easily out without going farther, which would then Tarek stun you, and then Misfortune just cancel it, and then just do what Misfortune does and kill you. And that's actually a pretty early turret loss for bottom lane. 12 minutes in. That's not that great for you guys, because now to actually get most farm, you're having to push a lot farther out. And
just watch and wait for the turnaround.
That I'm actually quite anxious to see this, because they're ahead on gold, not too much.
Just wait until Vayne starts steamrolling.
Yeah, because you're only 900 gold behind. I mean, it's not that big of a lead, but I mean, any lead is still an uncomfortable lead for the teams trailing, and they're actually going for Dragon as well, going to increase that gold lead.
Yep, and they're going to take it too. I think at that point, there goes my ping saying, hey, they're probably at Dragon right now. So Warwick runs down, he wants to get some sight on it, I want to get a ward down, and I don't think we had vision, so I couldn't quite get the timer, but I did put down an estimate on it.
Yeah, I don't agree with initiating on that either. However, your ultimate is going to catch one. Tarek just managed to get out of that, and then Tarek is also going to die mainly because Warwick ult holds him there, because he was, I believe, actually no, did he burn Flash just before he died, or had he already burned it?
He burned Flash to get out of my ultimate.
Okay, so he wasn't going to get out of there anyway, trying to flash
he wasn't.
Dragon.
But it's still nice that Warwick was able to secure that kill using his ultimate. I'd say it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, because his ultimate isn't on that long of a cooldown anyway, so by the time he goes through another jungle run, it's pretty much going to be off cooldown again, isn't it?
Just about, yeah. Now,
in terms of creep score, Swain is leading. Oh, no, Misfortune is actually leading, never mind. And, however, Vayne is close behind, so yeah, Vayne's doing a good job keeping up even though your tower is gone.
Yeah, no, Vayne with Nunu is really wicked, because Vayne, her Silver Bolts, is every 3 auto attacks, I think she does, it's like 8% of your maximum health as true damage. You cannot mitigate true damage. You can absorb it with shields and such, but, I mean, at that point, you're going to have a shield that's maybe, I don't know, somewhere like 250 damage, but if you've got a lot of health, that shield's not going to last very long. And a Vayne combined with a Nunu, Nunu's Blood Boil at max rank, gives her 65 additional % attack speed. That's a lot.
Yeah, the only we have, before I go on to the point I was going to, we have a fight up top Darius, now was it a kill with?
That was a kill with his
ultimate?
ultimate. It's not on
It
cooldown.
was, so he